Today we'll learn how to text Russians. What do we say? How do we text? But most importantly, why is texting such a big part of any Russian native's life? Let's start actually with the why. Russians text a whole lot. Messaging is really a big part of our life. And it's all because of Pavel Durov. He is solely responsible for that, in my opinion. And you might think, well, yeah, because he made Telegram. Not because of that. Because he made VK. VK is Vkontakte, means in contact in Russian. And VK came around in 2006 and it took over the entire CIS region, I think, of course, starting with Russia. I remember that time like it was yesterday. For me to text somebody, and I had a love interest or girlfriend back then. I was like 10, 11, I don't know. And so I was messaging her, taking my mom's phone to send her some SMS, some messages. And each SMS cost something, like a cent, right? But if you message every day, like 100 messages back and forth, that's $1 a day. That's pretty expensive. My mom would get mad at me for doing that. And then my tennis friends introduced me to Vkontakte, VK. I could message them, they could message me. So in the past, you would pretty much text one person for money. But now, if you have the internet to go on Vkontakte, you can message your friends, you can message anybody, unlimited messaging. I could message my tennis friends, my classmates, everybody. And then I convinced my girlfriend to get on VK as well. So as soon as I got home, open up my computer, log into the internet, I could message anybody unlimited amount of time. And VK was not just a messaging app. You could also draw graffiti on somebody's profile. You can play mini games. You even had a profile score that the higher it goes, you can only get to 100 for free by completing your profile, things like that, whatever. But then you could go higher to like 102, 110. And the higher your rating was, the higher you would be on like in the search engine. People could search for you and see that you have 102, and that was a big status. So Vkontakte was a huge social network in Russia. It took over Russia very quickly, and I no longer needed to beg my mom for the phone so I could message my friends and my girlfriend at the time. And there I was, messaging on VK. Then back to Pavel Durov. 2013, he leaves Vkontakte to create Telegram, this app right here that everybody uses to this day. Its goal for Telegram was to be very secure so that you don't have to be afraid for your data, for your messages being leaked. Because around this time, it was Viber, WhatsApp, Skype, all had issues where governments had a back door to the messaging. So they can always kind of use your messaging, and so it didn't feel secure at the time, and a lot of people jumped on Telegram. And ever since, it's been developing better and better, and now Telegram is my main source of messaging, and so is for a lot of Russians. If you know any Russians, friends, family, they for sure have Telegram. And if you don't, you are missing out. It's really an incredible messenger. So if you're not there yet, jump on it and you will see the kind of the benefits of it and how great it is. The history of messaging started from text messages going to VK, now onto Telegram. And it really has become a huge part of our lives. If I was like 9 or 10 when I first got on VK, I started messaging my classmates and my friends. That has become really a big part of who I was back then. And so we didn't have as much face-to-face phone calls. We didn't have FaceTimes. We didn't have any of those things. So after school, the main way of communication was through VK. You also had your social profile on there. So it was more than just a messenger. It was your profile in the society. And the messaging was like half of that social network. So a lot of Russians grew up of my age, 30, 35, 40 years old, grew up with this social network being one of the most important parts of our social life. And now we get to today's day and age. Some of the traditions for texting were kept, but the fact that Russians text a whole lot is still true. And you have to get used to that culture as well if you were to learn Russian. Now let's talk about not the why and the history about it, but what do we say? How do we text? First and foremost, Russians use this, the brackets. We don't use a lot of emojis. Look at my text messages very recently. Here are people texting me using the brackets. But you might ask, well, why not use emojis? Why not at least use this image right here with the eyes? Well, I can tell you this. Emojis didn't exist back then. And so the tradition started way, way further back. And the eyes are an extra character. When you used to type a message on SMS, you'll be limited to characters. So if you type a message that's this big, right? Then you see, oh, you're over the limit. You start to chop that message down and you remove all the unnecessary things. And so the eyes just went away. And the brackets became what they are today, just a smile. And because we use brackets a whole lot, it also carries a lot of meaning, emotional meaning. Compare the two. Я все понял. I understood everything. Versus Я все понял with a little smile. This would be very serious. Got it, understood. Maybe this can be said in a work or job chat, right? But this, I can say this to my friends. Okay, understood, got it. A bit lighter and a bit more fun, a bit less serious. So it's kept to this day. It didn't lose its significance. But let's talk about what to say. What are the words? What are the shortenings? What are the shortcuts? Let's start with greetings. Of course, the most common one is going to be привет. Привет is very informal and it's like in a dictionary kind of form of a greeting. Привет. You can say this to a person face to face, and also you can type this in the messenger. But we shorten it sometimes to just прив. Right here are the examples. Прив, just to shorten that. Привки can be more playful. Привки. Another one that's very surprising is ку. Has nothing to do with the first one, привет, but ку is another shortening, and I don't know the history about it, but it was said so many times as a form of a greeting that I now use it a whole lot as well. Of course, you know the slang greeting здорово. Здорово means what's up. Здорово. We can also say даров to shorten that. Даровки. Both of them are used just as frequently. Now on to the farewell. How do you say goodbye? Of course, the most basic one is пока. Пока is, again, dictionary form. Пок is a shorter version of it. Пок. Поки is another shorter version of it. And ББ. ББ means bye-bye. It really is an English word being used for Russian texting. ББ, bye-bye, goodbye, things like that. And the one that I use a whole lot is покеда. Покеда is, again, kind of a form of пока, but it's not even a shorter version of it. It's just a slang version of it. Покеда. I love this one. I use this one a whole lot. Now on to the shortenings, and I have my list so I won't forget. If you're laughing, something is funny, like a LOL, we say either кек, lol, and of course the two brackets. If something is funny, you can just send the brackets by themselves. Кек, lol, etc. Next one, chill. Chill is a shortening for человек, human, but chill is used to say dude, bro, chill. For the list, SPS is shorter for спасибо, for thank you. ПЖ shorter for пожалуйста, please or you are welcome. Then we have also PLZ. That's a shortening for please, for the English one, please, right? So it's a shortening for please. And NZC is не за что, like you're welcome or don't worry about it. NZC. Then we have LS for личные сообщения, for DM. DM is a newer word in English, but LS has been used since the first 2006 VK messaging, LS. МЧ is молодой человек, for a boyfriend. Молодой человек means young man, but we use that shortening for the boyfriend. Then we have кст, кстати, by the way, сек, секунду, 1 second, норм, нормально, normal or okay, alright. Пон is понятно, understandable, understood. МБ, может быть, maybe. Ща, сейчас, 1 second, give me a minute. And хз is хрен знает, like IDK, I don't know. And another one actually that's a very common one is go. Go means let's do something. Like right here, go обсудим, let's discuss, let's talk about this. Go обсудим. There's a ton more of these shortenings, and they really depend on each person, on each group of people, on each age. They can add, they can leave, it can all evolve. And now, 2025. Forget about messaging on iMessage. Forget about messaging on WhatsApp. To Russians, those are legacy platforms. Don't message on them because the functionality of Telegram is just so much better. And you can do things. Emojis are coming back and into use because on Telegram they're animated. Look at this right here. The hearts get animated. Other emojis get animated as well. We have voice messages that Russians use a whole lot. Me and my friend, look at this right here. 22,000 voice messages exchanged over the whole history of us texting. That's my best friend. And voice message is called голосовое сообщение, voice message, or slang голосовуха. Also, we have video messages that we record to each other. Because they're in circle, they're either called video сообщение or кружок for a circle, or sometimes колобок. Колобок is our folklore character. You see right here on the screen, that's колобок. He is also round. And so in slang, the video messages are called колобок as well. So to this day, Russians text a whole lot. And you have to get comfortable with Telegram, learn the shortenings from this video, and overall, if you want to speak to Russians, you gotta know the Russian language. And you can do that here on this channel, on Be Fluent in Russian. Literally says that in the title for this channel. Or right here over at Be Fluent. It's our own platform for serious Russian learners who want to speak Russian better, know the grammar, the vocabulary, etc. Or keep on watching our videos with this next one. It's up to you. I'll see you at both of these places and we'll learn together.